Hey guys, how's it going? We got a War of the Dork episode 26 for you today. Let's jump right into it. This is my second war with OG Athena. We had some good defenses that we faced and some not so good. Of course, once you finish the race, the rest of the teams left are kind of iffy. So you'll see how that goes. But anyway, this was the first attack of the war, and this was my Shadowlands, baby Shadowlands, against the baby heroes or hero brawlers rather. So yeah, go for the intended kill on the Captain Marvel, but she kept the, I believe it was engineering buff, or however they got defense up, so she doesn't fall, but she does get a whack of debuffs, so there's a chance Squirrel Girl's not going to cleanse that ability block anyway. And there you go, she does keep it, so she doesn't get to go binary. That's cool. And of course my Moon Knight will get to take her out before she gets to do anything else, so that works. I believe she was the only like halfway built character on the team besides the Miss Marvel. Oh, there you go. She dies from the assist from the special of Night Nurse, giving White Tiger a bunch of speed, who will then use that speed to take out America Chavez and then turn her attention to Miss Marvel. She gives her the defense down, which is great. We don't have a flip for a little bit here. Looks like Daredevil and Moon Knight are going to go before that gets to happen, unfortunately. But we're an auto. Obviously, we don't care anymore. There you go. Just Squirrel Girl left, and she's already blown her entire wad. Oh no, Miles survived that. White Tiger puts down another round of debuffs on Squirrel Girl, who does drop, and there we go. So, first one in the bag, not too bad. And next for attack number 2, we're going to have X-Force against Mercenaries with a very, very, very big Hela. So, let's see that there. 170k Hela, near 100k Taskmaster, so those are our two threats. But because there's a Hela on this team, there's also a Greg, which means Negasonic is guaranteed to give X23 the speed she needs. And here you go right here. Takes out that Taskmaster. Unfortunately, that does give the Merc Lieutenant enough time to get the offense up on Hela. And now it's kind of a race. We need to get defense down off ourselves, maybe even kill her in time if we can. Spoiler, that's not going to happen because Riot Guard gets to go. But we are going to get to drop all of our defense down before she takes her turn, which is good. We try and cleanse or clear some of these buffs with Cable. Not going to happen. And then, yeah, bye Domino. Who was surprised that Domino dies? Even if she doesn't die in the fight, she probably dies off screen after the fight. And yeah, so we just got to deal with this really big Hela. I'm not worried about that. At this point, X23 could have easily soloed the last 3 characters here, including the Greg. But that's not needed because, well, Negasonic and Deadpool are still beasts, and their contribution to the team cannot be undervalued. So, that's 2 for 2. Let's go ahead and do attack number 3. And we're doing about a 60k punch down, Infinity Watch against Heroes for Hire with Red Guardian in security. Of course, security doesn't matter with Infinity Watch because the immunity Adam Warlock provides. Which, by the way, guys, when people say Adam Warlock is replaceable in the Infinity Watch team, that is not true in war in or near the security room. So keep that in mind. That immunity is very important. I do like the variation this person did with the Red Guardian. It does get you stuck behind his taunt, so you need to deal with that before you get to go and beat up the Colleen. And with his 180k Colleen, that's no small task. So Red Guardian drops. We get to go beat up on the Colleen. And what I want to do along the way is I want to CC the Luke Cage, so I'm going to do the Moondragon special on him here. Does rewind him, which is great. Unfortunately, what we are going to do is we're going to knock this Colleen low, which props the Iron Fist to heal, which cleanses the Luke Cage. But we'll just do it again. Beat up on this Colleen. So she lost her last charge. We got a stun up. Let's go ahead and stun the Luke Cage. But unfortunately, Iron Fist is just going to use his heal here and cleanse that right away. Probably should have went for the Iron Fist and hoped it chained the Luke Cage, but that's okay. This really is an auto matchup with Infinity Watch against Heroes for Hire. Especially once your Infinity Watch starts hitting that like 700k range, I'm not sure Heroes for Hire can get big enough to beat them. But Heroes for Hire definitely was designed with Infinity Watch in mind. I know Infinity Watch came out after them, but it's pretty clear that they made like this juggernaut war defense team, so you'd have to use the new offensive studs against them, which is fine. So now we got no charges on Luke Cage, no charges on Iron Fist. Iron Fist, I don't know, he walked into my team and disappeared, so I guess he died. Next we have Misty Knight. As soon as this happens, okay, there he goes. Should have turned it on auto by now. No more charges on the Misty. Just beating her up. There she goes. Attack number 4. We're using our X Factor this time with Namor. Did about 100k punch up into a Marauders team. No Emma on this one, which does really devalue them as a war team. But that's kind of going to be status quo for now on, guys. I think with these higher alliances starting to pull off Emma and put her on offense, which is, I think, the smart move. She's better. Well, she's not better on offense, but now that there's so many Emmarauder counters, she's kind of wasted on defense anyway. So I think that's going to be the way it goes. And with that said, I think you're going to start seeing more Symbiotes on defense. That's a trend happening in the higher brackets right now. You can kind of always watch a video like Global Gamer or myself, because I'm doing top, 50 fights now, and you can see the trends that these alliances are going to be doing. So this does end up kind of being a waste of your X Factor, because without Emma, that team is very easy to beat, and yeah, X Factor just walks over them. That's still only 2 T4s in my X Factor, guys. I think that's enough for now. We're going to be pivoting and doing big investments into Shadowlands. Here's attack number 5. This is a 150k punch down, but that doesn't really matter, because what it really comes down to is a Doom team versus a Doom team. The 4 other members, their job is just to facilitate what Doom does. For the Brotherhood, that's to stall out for him to ult, and for my team, that's to speed him up so he ults first. So Black Widow gives him that speed up, Falcon gives him a bunch of turn meter, Red Guardian eats all the abilities from the enemy. In case there was an ability block or something, he's going to suck that up for Doom. And Punisher does extra villain damage, so he's going to go ahead ult here. He's going to really hurt that Toad, that Magneto, and that Juggernaut. Or sorry, the Blob. Falcon comes in. Hopefully he's going to put some vulnerables out there, because he's a raider. I did bring him up to level 5, and he's successfully attributed 0 vulnerables there. Normally with your Doom, you're going to peel off that taunt from the Juggernaut. You're going to get to use at least one of the basics on Doom. That didn't happen here, so the Doom does live, and so does the Juggernaut actually, so I waste a turn from Punisher on the Juggernaut too. But luckily, Falcon gave so much speed that both Black Widow and Red Guardian get to go first, taking him out, neutralizing that threat before it happens. So my Doom team is better than that Doom team. I was concerned about Doom teams with Brotherhood, because that seems to be where everyone is starting to put them. It's a lot easier to counter Doom teams that are with, say, Emmarauders or Uncanny or some kind of Red Guardian thing. You just throw Zemo at it. But we're taking pretty much the exact same matchup here, except we're using a Kestrel+Fury team. I also throw in Cap Sam, Ultron for fun, just because I have nowhere to put Ultron, and Invisible Woman, just in case things get really hairy. I want that barrier. But I'm not sure it's going to be needed, guys. Let's see what happens here. Good thing about this team, and that last team actually, is that all their openers don't really rely on landing. From Cap Sam, I'll have to check. I don't think his ult relies on the turn meter to hit. So I think even if you miss, you still get a turn meter, but that's kind of regardless, because mine resisted it. Invisible Woman here, she's going to use the barrier. Sure, they won't get offense down, but I don't really care about that. We're not going to bother summoning here. Instead, we're going to get more speed and defense up in case we do proc this Doom ult here. There goes Blob. I'm going to do a little bit more damage onto this Doom, and let's see if my Kestrel can one-shot him. 511. Nope, not quite enough. But the speed from the Ultron bots and from Fury is enough to let my Captain Sam go in and finish it. I know he had defense down. I know he was low life. I still think it's crazy my 3 red star Captain Sam took that Doom out like that. So I'm loving that character. I can't wait to directly promote him. I failed so many orbs opening for him. But we'll see what he does at higher star levels as soon as he gets put in the store. It's about 130k punch down now. Astonishing X-Men into Emmarauders. Finally, we found a team with Emma on it. So let's go ahead and beat them up. Astonishing X-Men really don't struggle too much with Emmarauders unless you get terrible RNG. But there's definitely better use for your Astonishing X-Men. Especially if you're using them as your Doom raid team. You're going to have them pretty big. I know there's big Emmarauders, but there's better counters that do punch-ups where Astonishing X-Men can be used elsewhere. But that wasn't the case here, obviously. I just said you shouldn't take this matchup because it's a waste. But I'm taking it, and that's because there was no real teams showing that I was allowed to attack, because we're putting our enemy in toes here, which is 2 enemies on each side of all the remaining rooms, right? You do that after you clear off your barracks, your armory, hangar, all your global buff rooms. There we go. We have a big bishop, and that's going to take out Strafe. It's going to take out the clone, give us a bunch of speed, lets us stun the Minerva. She's actually just going to die to the ISO interaction. Next, let's go beat up on Sinister. We use the basic to peel off the defense up, give ourselves offense up and some speed. I guess defense up too, but who needs defense up when you're the Astonishing X-Men? Just beat everybody up. 220k crit. See you later, Sinister. See you later, Mystique. Now my whole team has offense up still. Let's see if we can't kill this Emma while she's in diamond form. Pretty big Emma, but I believe in the power of Astonishing X-Men. She's in the yellow. We don't have charge. Does that matter? Nope. Bishop's a beast. Invest in your bishop, guys. He's so fun. He's so good. So there you go. That was a punch down. So attack number 8. Speaking of punch downs, guys, here's a 300k Black Order into Mercs punch down. So these punch downs are happening because I wake up super early in the morning and we hadn't put them into toes yet. So there were teams I would have preferred to use the teams you just saw me use. But these were the teams that I had to attack for my alliance to reach the toes position. It doesn't help me on the damage meters or in the feels good department, but it's something that somebody has to do to get you in position to close out wars. So 300k punch down, no surprise here that it's an easy win. Yeah, let's go see the next attack. I think after that, when we put him into toes, and then oh my god, everybody started attacking. Surprise, surprise. So here's attack number 9. So you see I used my Black Order. You're like, well, couldn't you have used a different team? Yes, I could have, but the team I have here is actually a Doom killer team. All the Dooms got snagged as soon as I was finished that Black Order matchup. So I get stuck with a Marauders team, slight punch up. And this team that I built here is actually designed to counter Doom Emmarauders, but since there was none of them up, I take the Emmarauders out. You get to strip the taunt off Strafe, you get to put the ability block on them. They get to make you kill your friend Yo-Yo, but you get to use Silver Surfer's ability block on the Emma, and if Strafe's not taunting at this point, which he is because I had offense up, so I knocked a bunch of people into yellow, specifically Sinister, your Hela then gets to spread the ability block, and you get to clean up. It's not the case here. This was like a 30k punch up, but because those 3 there, the Hela, Zemo, and Silver Surfer are so big, it doesn't matter. We just brute force this out. We didn't need the finesse. Oh well. Easy win. So there you go. And guys, this last fight, this is a pretty tough fight. This was tough. Okay? I did what I had to do on this 500k punch down. So we got Symbiotes versus Shadowlands. I'm only showing it because I like to add all the videos to these war recaps. You don't need to watch this. The cool thing I guess you could take from this is Shadowlands gets to take a bunch of moves before the Symbiotes do. So if you do start seeing a lot of these like 900k symbiotes like we've been seeing on defense, if you have a big Shadowlands, you could probably use them to take the symbiotes out. You know, you're gonna want to nuke the anti-venom real quick and go from there. But this was an easy win, so we did okay. We did have to take some stupid punch downs, which didn't help our cause. But our power, or our contribution is pretty big at 17 mil. Pablo up there, number 1 with 18 mil. He got the MVP, well deserved. Good job, Pablo, and good job, OG Athena. We did great, guys. I really enjoyed this war. I hope you found it helpful. Hope you found it fun. I'm gonna be coming out with like a top war characters to build videos, probably 2 or 3 parter. That's gonna come out either this weekend or early next week, so look out for that. But until then, have fun, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Peace.